I'd like to call the July 21st, 2025 Warrant Finance Committee meeting to order. First line of the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go Canada.
Okay, next item is introduce members. We all know each other, but people out in TV land may not know us. So, I'll start. I'm Leslie Berlin. I've been on Warrant Finance 3 or 4 years. I don't remember how many. And I'm looking forward to another year of looking at the budgets as they're presented. Please.
Joyce Bakshi. This is my third term on Warrant and Finance, so I would be beginning my 5th year. And I'm extremely interested in how we spend our money, what we spend it for, and how we support our town and the people who service our town. Thank you.
Joe?
Joseph Luma, Sand Page Road. I'm concerned about the overall future of the town as far as planning for capital improvements and how it's going to be financed, and just the overall week to week, year to year budget process that goes through in making the town the way it is.
Lee?
I'm Lee Robitor. Been on the Warrant Finance for a couple of years, and I appreciate the opportunity to review the financials and to provide some general guidance and oversight to the process.
Steve Bike. This is my first elected term. I finished a post for somebody last year, and I am very interested in what we spend and how we spend it, and being conservative by nature, I just think that we need to watch out for the people of this town. We have an aging population, so it's nice if we can keep a lid on things, on spending.
Dennis Long. This is my second year of a 2-year term, and I've been on the Warrant Finance Committee off and on for many years, and hopefully I can give some input that's positive for the rest of the committee and the townspeople. We'll see what happens.
Roland?
Roland Waterhouse, live up on Acton Ridge. This is my second time as an alternate on this committee. I was also a sitting member of the committee probably about 4 years ago. I decided to get back into it. I'm very interested in how the town spends its money and how some people operate. Thank you.
We also have an 8th member, Lori Wood. She's unable to attend this evening, but I also just want to give a shout out to her to let everyone know that she is a member of the committee. Next thing is election of officers. Since it's a new year for us, we always have elections. So I will open nominations for chair.
Nominate Joyce Batch.
I nominate Leslie.
Any other nominations? Okay. All in favor of Joyce? Leslie? All right, we have a conundrum.
No, it's just a tie,
Yeah.
that's all. I will just say
Well,
that,
can I make an alternate motion?
Yes.
yeah,
Make a motion to elect Joyce Bachi as chair and Leslie Berlin as vice chair.
I say, but we don't do it by motion, we do it by,
All right, nominate Joyce Bachi for chair and Leslie Berlin for vice chair.
we're doing chair first. One at a time.
Trying to resolve the, oops, we have a tie. I withdraw my motion.
I would,
I thought I saw 4 hands. For Leslie. Didn't I saw Joe.
Joe, who did you vote for?
That was for you.
All right, who was,
4-3.
Right, I thought there was 4
oh,
hands.
is there 4? All
I don't know.
I saw Joe, myself, and I think
Okay.
you did.
right. So that was, I missed Joe,
Sorry. Yeah, that's
so,
why I wasn't sure. I didn't understand.
okay. Thank you for pointing that out.
Sorry.
That's why we're glad you're here.
There's an odd number of us.
There is, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, it was. And I just missed a hand.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is settled, vice chair. Oh, accept nominations.
Joyce, I would nominate Joyce.
Second?
Second, we haven't had seconds before.
That's true, we haven't.
I'll second it.
Any other nominations? All in favor?
Unanimous.
All right, secretary. Lori was our secretary this past year. We have in previous years discussed whether we need a secretary or not. Since we are on camera. So if anyone is interested in doing away with the secretary,
I think
shall
we might be a little premature doing away with it, but at this time, I think what we need to know is the only minutes we need to keep are when we have a vote.
we?
So that means tonight, somebody would have to keep, you don't have to be the secretary, but you would have to keep tonight.
I usually do that as chair.
And,
Because I do that because I'm sending the information to the selectmen and to the town
Really?
administrator.
that's the secretary's job though.
But I've done it.
Yeah.
because-
Well, then, because I think Lori did a wonderful job, and I think we should ask her when she makes the
She's
next
interested.
meeting,
I like that
Yeah.
idea. So that's what
if she wants to keep that position. We can go back to it.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job
She
with
did.
minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, so I'll entertain a motion.
We don't need a motion for
You
this.
don't need a motion, you don't, all right, so we're going to,
Just postpone.
okay?
and one of you will contact Lori to see if she is interested. If she is, then
Yeah.
our next meeting, we can.
Right.
Yeah,
elect a
I would-
secretary.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take care of that. So, okay,
I agree, she did a great job last
yeah.
year.
Appointment of liaisons. So, in looking at the list, we've traditionally done 2 for the school department. Did I miss anyone on this list?
You got 8 people.
Well, I understand that, but did I miss a department? That's what I'm asking.
Okay. I don't think so.
Doesn't appear.
No.
Okay.
I mean, we don't do like the Conservation Committee or the
No.
Cemetery Committee. We haven't historically done any of them, so I don't know.
Okay. Like I said, I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I didn't overlook a department that needed to be covered.
And they're pretty good about when it time comes, coming to our meeting and
Yeah.
expressing what their needs are.
So we have 7 of them, we usually do 2 for the school. And with that said, I'd like to stay with the municipal this year, unless anyone has an objection to that.
We have 2 for the municipal.
We did?
Yeah.
Who else,
we
who was
had-
last year? Else was last year?
Joyce was part of it.
I was last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the prior year. You were on the school last year.
And I'd like to be on the school and suggest Lee be on the school and share with me. I don't need to be on municipal this year, but
I'll do it.
You want
School.
the school? All right, who wants the fire department?
I'll do that again. Last year, things were kind of messed up, so it didn't work out the way it was supposed to, but, so I missed a lot in the development of the budget. And hopefully this year, things will work out, so I don't miss that part of it.
All right, how
But
about,
I still think we ought to have 2 people for the municipal.
well, and actually, when you look at land use, that's part of municipal.
no, it's not.
It's
really.
part of the municipal budget.
But it's, yes, it is, but it's still 2 different,
I understand that. I mean,
Yeah,
so there's your 2
two very
people.
different-
There's your 2 people right there.
So those 2 people, what you're suggesting would be municipal department and
Yes.
land use
Yes,
all in
that's
one?
what I'm suggesting.
Did you want to do that municipal again, George?
sure.
Land use, you're kind of, well, you
Yeah.
and Leslie both are
We both have
very
experience.
knowledgeable in
Yep,
that department also.
right,
So I think you guys would be a great fit.
Okay.
all right.
That's just my opinion, unless somebody else.
The rec department,
I had that last,
did you want to stay with it?
yeah,
So,
Roads? You wanna do that?
Sure.
That leaves the transfer station.
Yeah,
And we forgot Lori.
sorry.
We forgot Lori.
oh, Rollin,
Roland,
Hmm?
Marlon, are you gonna do
Roland
the
can be-
transfer station?
I will.
That's what he just said that, yeah. I'm saying,
who said that?
Roland said he would do transfer station.
Oh, well,
Good
speak
job,
up.
Rollin.
What I said is.
I should have kept, I've been
We
quiet.
need to give
Yeah,
Lori
you should.
a liaison. That's-
Yeah, and the same thing, I think, Leslie, when you talk to her, you can,
Ask what she wants to do?
and
Okay,
there's no reason why we can't
Yep.
make her one at that next meeting.
okay,
Yep,
yep, all right.
good call.
Rollin's doing the transfer station, huh?
Yeehaw.
And Lee, Joyce are doing the school,
Mhm.
and Joe's doing the
so.
Mhm.
And like I said, unless we miss something, which,
Now, I'm asking this while we're on the liaison stuff. The capital improvement plan that they're developing with Mike Roy, and I'm assuming this, but I shouldn't, that you and Joyce would be sitting in on some of that planning for capital improvement. What's your thoughts?
I think that would be, it would,
It probably would be big money.
yeah.
I don't know what,
Actually, I think there's gonna be big enough money, and very honestly, right now, what I'm gonna say is I'm looking at people's backgrounds and what they do and what they come from. And I think it would be, well, I chaired capital improvements for a couple of years.
right,
So, yeah, that definitely would be my wheelhouse. Leslie, you know, looking at the money, that's fine, but I don't think it would hurt us again to have Lee. Lee's background as a banker,
Yeah.
I think might be very good to have us there.
Yeah, between.
Now, I know I'm talking out of school, Lee, because I haven't talked to you about it, but,
it's always nice to put Lee on the spot, I love doing it.
You do?
you know, and, you know, and you never can tell. There might be something Lori would like too. And-
But we can't have the whole committee, though.
No, we can't, but
Yeah.
one of us would graciously step down for her in any of
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah,
You know, if she wanted to work with you on municipal, I would have no problem with that, you know. And so I think we could go that way.
So, what you're suggesting, Joyce, for example, if Lori wanted to do the municipal end,
Mm-hmm.
that the capital improvement plan would be well-served, obviously, because you did a great plan before, you and your committee,
Thank you.
and have Lee help you out with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Good. I just think, supposedly, it's my understanding, that they're paying Mark Roy to develop a new plan. And I would assume that this plan would be in place when we start the budget process. So we'd have some kind of an idea.
I'm not sure what their timeframe is to
Yeah.
have it in place.
I mean, it's been a year. I mean, you would hope, I guess. And if it is, then it's followed, it would affect all the budgets for next year. Or maybe it wouldn't affect any, who knows? I don't know.
Capital budget should be
By themselves.
by themselves.
I agree with you, but you never know how people,
so
I'd be
if,
surprised if it didn't do that.
right.
all right, so until I talk to Lori, we
Yeah.
kind of like,
yeah.
we'll
yeah.
table that for now.
Right,
And then that way we can make the adjustments that we need to make.
sounds perfect,
I mean, we have a committee that's full of knowledge. I mean, you worked on the plan.
yeah.
Lee was a banker. I have a degree in accounting and economics, and I know Lori works in accounting.
Yeah,
So
she runs a
there's-
business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's a good breadth
Yeah,
of knowledge in
Yeah.
finances that we all should, be able to contribute a great deal to.
Yeah.
So,
good move.
all right. Review and adoption of policies and procedures. Packet of information that, it's all stuff that we've seen before. The first page is our mission statement, or what we always call the STAR statement of the school, which we started to read before every one of our meetings, and I think that we should continue to do that this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it, and then, so we will strive to work together as a committee that values the municipal budget process. We will strive to be fully present at the meetings by becoming familiar with the materials and being attentive. We will strive to invite and welcome the opinion and contributions of every member, to listen and to be respectful to one another. We will strive to be involved to our level of comfort. Each member is responsible for airing disagreements during the meeting, rather than carrying those disagreements outside the meeting. We will strive to operate in a collegial and friendly atmosphere. We will strive to be responsible for examining all points of view and acting in the best interest of town meeting at all times. So we'll be reading that at the beginning of every meeting. The rest of these is the information on what the roles are of the officers, standard operating procedures, which we follow the abbreviated Robert's Rules of Order. And so I included some information on parliamentary motions, order of precedence of motions, and I included the actual warrant and finance ordinance in that little packet. And the policy, I don't know if this is in place or not. Did we ever get an answer on that?
No, we never get an answer, it's still on the website.
Yeah.
The policy that you're wanting to know about has been suspended, period.
That's what they had said.
It did not, it hasn't gone away, but they are no longer fulfilling that policy.
Yeah, but that's a question to ask, is whether that policy is being reinstated. Then they also put in just some extraneous information. Of course, we've seen this tax calculation for a couple of years now. And the figures are given to us with the budgets, the actual budget, and for 2023 to a budget of 2025. I'd like to see the selectmen update this information. But on the bottom, I did some calculations as far as how much our budget has increased. And I also put the Social Security COLAs increases and Medicare premium increases for the years 22, 23, 24, and 25. Just so because we are an aging town, and it's important to keep in mind that a lot of our citizens are on fixed incomes. And the Medicare premiums a lot of times are clawing back the increase in Social Security on the COLA. So I thought that was good information to just have available to us.
So how far back do you want to go, Leslie?
I'd like to see this updated
To what?
to, I'd like to see we have the 2025 budget. I'd
Right.
like to see the 2025 actuals. Because we're in the 26
And
year.
if you remember at town meeting, I brought up the evaluation thing when they set the tax rate.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom said that this number, because it was just the same, and Tom said that this was an estimated number, it wasn't the actual number
That's right.
at town meeting. So I think part of the update would be, Leslie, the actual number.
Oh, absolutely, like I said, I'd like to see accurate data.
Yeah,
Did you, did you get your monthly, and I know I left mine at home in my briefcase, are financials.
Yeah, I had Jennifer print them, so you should have them right in front of you.
No, not that. That's not
For
what I.
the year end, I asked her to print the year end, and I
Not the
believe,
year end. But since I didn't bring it, I'm not
yeah,
saying.
so it's this one right here, I gave it to you.
Yes, you gave it to
Yeah.
me, but that's not what was in our, we had one from the treasurer that was in our box,
Yeah,
all this.
yeah, you're right, this is different,
Yeah, that's different.
yeah. Because it was an abbreviated one that was sent to us.
Was it? Okay.
And I would, Leslie, looking at, the tax calculation,
Mm-hmm.
I would like, in 2023, we have the actual,
Yeah,
in 2024 is the budgeted,
yeah,
and 25 is the budget,
yeah, we want the,
We want
we want
the
the
actual.
actuals.
the actuals.
We want the actuals for 24, 25, and the budget for 26.
You're right,
That's-
which they haven't determined yet.
Right. Well, no, the budget they've determined, because we had town meeting.
That's a good point. So we have the actuals for 24,
We have the
The actuals
actuals for
25.
25, and we want the budget for 26.
yeah, so it's just 3 years,
Yeah,
and I think that's standard, really.
yeah. And then the accurate, valuation of the town. So, but,
So it's not estimated.
right,
Yeah.
so, and just looking at, doing the quick calculation, the increase on the municipal side, from 23 to 25 was almost 21%. The school was just over 11%. And I don't know if anyone, caught that Tom said he thought that our surplus this past year was gonna be about $900,000. So, which was even more than the prior year.
But they did indicate at the selectmen meeting that not all bills are paid yet.
Right.
Yeah,
So we don't know how much.
Right, but I mean, like I said, that was an estimate, yeah.
but he did a meeting 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Gave an exact accounting of where it came from, where every bit of that 900 plus came from.
I'd like to see that on
And-
paper, so we can,
Yeah, and he said he would have it
yeah.
in paper. I could have watched the meeting and written it down, but I'll send it to everybody anyway,
So,
because the meeting 2 weeks ago, he gave it.
You had the paper, Joyce? Are you saying?
no, she said she watched the meeting, she didn't care.
Yeah, I watched the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he gave an explanation for every category that
Yeah.
came from.
Yeah.
It was quite clear, and frankly, nothing at all seemed out of whack. And a lot of it seemed like, we're going to need X amount of dollars for this. And they're really giving us a guesstimate, and the guesstimate was higher than the actual.
Alright, so,
So revenue.
in
Excuse
saying
me?
that, this last document I gave you is a calculation from the past 10 years on the municipal side of the excess budget in revenue and in expenditures. So you have, and then you have the total over budgeted. And then in the school year, and I pulled these figures right from the audits. For the school year, they only broke it 6 years, so there's only 6 years of information. So,
I'm not sure what 10 years is going to give us,
10 years is it's just a trend, that's
Yeah.
all.
but if you can't estimate health insurance, how much is health insurance gonna be this year? Well, it's always been this much, and guess what, next year, boom, it didn't go up because, you know, rates didn't go up as much or as fast this year as they were expected to.
But if you
If
if you look at this, Joyce, there's, we've never gotten close to what we budgeted.
well, you know, I see that, and what I say to that is, for many years, we've had you, me, Roland, Lee, as selectmen. We've had John Q. Average, Andover, Acton citizen working as our selectman, knowing probably less than you know as somebody who has a degree in accounting. It's only been the last couple of years that we have had a select person whom his background is definitely money and budgets and accounting.
Right.
You know, whether we think that's good or bad or like or don't like, we have an expert now. We haven't for the years before. We've had homemakers. We've had,
We understand, we understand
I
that.
understand that.
I understand, yeah, I do. And in looking at this, I mean, the past, we'll only go 2 budgets ago. We're still, the lowest one was over $500,000 in excess funds was collected from our taxpayers.
How
So-
how much of that was receivables? We got more money this year than we expected in. I mean, that they can't figure out either. So I want to make it very clear that these kinds of things, I think, can lead us in a way that's not necessarily, just because it was that way, doesn't mean it's going to be that way. We have different people in different seats. We have, look at this committee right now.
All right, Joyce, all right,
Okay?
all right. I understand your point, Joyce. My point is, we are collecting almost $1 million a year in excess funds from our taxpayers who could be using that money to, for what they need. Not for the town to have it in a slush fund to do whatever.
Okay, I disagree.
Well, but
The
let's,
biggest thing, I disagree, Leslie, and I think it's important. We're not collecting $1 million from the taxpayer. Yes, money's coming in from the taxpayer. We have a very low tax rate now.
Currently,
Sorry?
it's currently,
Currently.
watch it.
And,
all right, you,
It's
but
been-
let's
it's been
pull
higher.
revenues out and just look at expenditures.
But,
Last
you
year,
know-
Joyce, let me finish. Last year, we had $500,000 in over budget expenditures.
and what did you have in revenue?
I said I pulled that out. It was 274,000 in excess
The
revenue.
budget- I think you say they were under budget. They
Yeah,
budgeted more than
They
they spent.
budgeted more
Right.
than they spent,
Right.
absolutely.
Which
So that's what I
I
mean,
give them a round of applause for saving money.
yeah?
But they're taking it from the taxpayer. In a perfect world, budget should equal actual. We don't live in a perfect world,
You're not even
granted.
gonna come close to
However,
it.
I think those figures should be a whole lot closer than they are. We have elderly people who are living on a fixed budget. Do you think that we should be collecting almost $1 million a year in excess taxes?
I'd rather have it that way than being short $1 million, Leslie.
And
Well,
they-
I agree with that. I think the number can come down,
And I
is what
think
I'm
that's what
saying.
they've been working on, trying to
That's
get
what I-
down. And I think if you look at all the construction going on around here,
Yes,
it's amazing how much extra money that came in, but you can't rely on it. When the economy turns, and it will turn, those revenue sources are gonna dry up for permitting costs.
So, and then when,
And then,
when our elderly can no longer afford to live in town because,
the tax rate in this town is very reasonable compared to most of the tax rates of other communities in Maine. extremely reasonable.
I'm not concerned about other towns in Maine, I'm concerned about the town of Acton.
I
And
am
I'm
too.
concerned about the
We are blessed to be in a position that we are in compared to most towns.
I think
The
that the
other-
numbers should be closer. I'm
it-
sorry.
Leslie, I don't think Lee disagrees, and I don't disagree. We'd like to see the numbers closer. But for a lot of reasons, some that I said, some that Lee said, we now have we're now in a much better position to get those numbers. We never know what, to say we are an aging population. On the other hand, the state doesn't consider us a poor population. They consider Acton to be a wealthy town because of our lakes and the construction that's going on around our lakes. That will stop. That bubble always breaks. But I think we have to see all sides of the picture. And,
Steve, what do you
looking back.
think? Steve, weigh in on this.
I'm gonna agree with you. I think they need to get closer, because what ends up happening is all this extra money gets dumped into another fund that they are playing with the money to earn interest, and it just gets put aside. It's like, well, how about we apply it to next year's budgetary process, not just put it in another account.
But you do that.
Do they?
Part of it goes to that, part of it goes toward capital expenditures.
Okay, well then,
Like an ambulance, the
Like a
$655,000.
$600,000 ambulance.
That hasn't been, that no money has been set forward for that.
Well,
Not
it's
a
on,
dime.
it's on something
It's
for
on
us
the
to vote
table.
on tonight.
I
Well, we're not,
understand that.
we're
I
not voting
understand.
And
tonight.
if you didn't have the cash sitting around, you would be borrowing the money, which is a lot
To be
more
quite
expensive.
honest with you, if you wanted to pay for that damn ambulance, we could. We had in the bank.
Yeah.
See, the problem, Roland, is policy was put into place that within several months, there would be a capital improvement plan. Well, that was years ago, we still have not seen that capital improvement plan.
And the
Now-
money,
now- let
in
me-
that fund
let me
is dwindling.
finish. Let me finish. Now, they're paying someone to do that capital improvement plan that
correct.
Joyce had put together and her
I
committee
was
had
on the
put
committee
together.
with her. I know what we voted and what we discussed on that committee. I'm well aware. The thing about the investment fund, that money is dwindling. If you watched last week's meeting, you would have heard Jennifer say they transferred funds again. No explanation as to why they transferred the funds or the amount of funds that they transferred. I personally would like to know. I think anybody who is, interested in the financial health of this town would want to know. I mean, I'm not saying don't pay the bills by any means, okay? But when you say we had to transfer money, well, you know where that transfer came from? TD Bank. Where did it go? Partners.
No, that's just a paper transaction.
No, it's not even a paper, it's electronic. That's beside the point. That's beside the point, okay? I don't have an accounting degree, as was made clear.
Okay, keep it nice.
Yes.
I am keeping it nice, okay? I would like to know, if we're transferring money out of the investment fund, where's the money being transferred to?
Yeah, we need
What
more
is it being, transparency, good point.
Mhm.
I'll shut up for now.
Joe, you have anything to add to that?
Not right now.
No? Okay.
Let me think about it.
All right. Dennis?
I'm a little more conservative than some people. And town's budget's approximately $4.5 million. And to have an estimated 900,000, I've done budgets, as a slotman, I've done as a employee of the school, and you're running about 20% budgeted more than what you're actually spent. And I do know there has to be some variance there, because difference in revenues and stuff. But I do know, for example, to school, for 13 years I did budgets at school. There surely wasn't that percentage, actually. At the end of the year, and when I was doing budgets, I was doing like $400,000 or $500,000 budgets, not as big as they are now, but I personally would like to see that number down, maybe to 10% or something, and I think we're paying, this is what was the plan a few years ago when we hired Mark Roy, that the budgets would be more accurate and the revenues would be more accurate. And hopefully, this year, we're gonna be starting and will be. If not, then I don't see much sense to having Mark Roy.
Well, from what I've seen, and I haven't been involved anywhere near as long as you, Dennis, but I think that the accounting process has been cleaned up a lot over the years, and I think that the reporting has become consistent and on they're getting the information quicker than they have had in the past, and they're closing out the books quicker than they've ever had in the past. And I think those are all positive things that have to be put in place prior to getting to the capital budget plan, which I understand it takes time to get to, and I know that we are hoping that it will be ready for this year, and maybe it will be. I haven't asked that question. And I think that Mark has been part of pulling all this together with the help of, with Tom. Tom's done a lot on this stuff.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, Lee. I agree that Mark has done, he has cleaned up a lot of stuff. We've also solved the illegal issue of having our auditor do the books and then auditing his own work, which
Do that.
should never ever happen.
I'm not criticizing Tom or Mark.
No,
or
I
anything.
know you're
Just
not, I know.
My opinion on budgets, I think a 10% surplus at the end of the year is reasonable. I don't think 20% is.
I mean, you'd have to look line item by line and go through it, like, I guess Tom did at one of the meetings, to determine what the circumstances were for the variances. And I know we had a pretty soft winter, so the plowing didn't come in as high.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. What happens when we get, huge storms or ice storms or something, it goes the other way. Then we'll say these people didn't budget properly or something.
No, I mean, when you can explain that,
But I thought that's what Tom did,
Yeah.
from what I heard, was that he did pretty good
like I
explanation.
said, I mean, throwing out numbers like that, it's very easy to miss the nuances of it. So, I wanna see it in writing, I wanna see what line item actually was over. So we can look at it
But and that's
see
part
what,
of, that's part of the budget process as well. They
Yeah.
can tell you what you did last year and then how they're responding to it this year.
right, so other than, being transparent at a meeting and saying it is good, and I like that. But I also wanna see it where, I see what the budget was, I see what the actual, and I see what they're proposing, which is, like I
That's what we
said,
do.
part of our budget.
Yeah.
But it needs to be on paper where we can actually look at it and analyze it.
And I believe watching the meeting that Tom read what he said off a document.
He did.
So maybe we could just ask for that document so we can see what the difference was in revenues and.
I've already spoken to him and asked him for it. Has anybody looked at this? Even like page 2 in your packet? Really? You can
Like I
look
said,
at it.
we all just got this, so.
I know, but I think, give it
Yeah.
just give it a quick look, and I think you're gonna,
So this is what basically we're looking for. We don't have last year's on it, but we have,
but we have this
this-
year's.
yeah. So we can tell by this where,
Yeah, where we are, yeah.
where it came from. So, I mean, I know last year I looked at the fact that we had a lot of excess funds on the roads, and I asked how much of that was due to our 2-year projects now, because that's an explanation as to why we would have excess funds.
This probably is just what Tom was reading off.
That could, yeah, very well could be.
Mhm.
So,
And like I said, I haven't really had a chance to look through this stuff,
If you look through it, I think you'll see a lot.
so, yeah.
so I mean, because there's information that I wanted to ask for, which we'll get to later, that wasn't in the abbreviated forms that we were emailed earlier.
Okay.
So this probably has it, but I'll need time to get that information together.
Yep.
So, all right. Is there anything else on these documents that I gave you? Everyone can read through them, and if you have any questions at a later
The
meeting.
only thing I didn't see in any of the documents, especially if I'm gonna be part of the liaison with the school, is I don't see any reference to the school. Are they considered a department of the town?
Yeah,
Yes.
Technically, they are, but also operate almost
They're independent.
independently of the town.
but they haven't,
It's kind of hard to.
they haven't, unlike the town, they haven't started any of their budget stuff yet for this fiscal year. And as you know, Lee can see there's 4 or 5 things the town wants approval on.
Yep.
And I thought at one meeting, Selectmen's meeting, that, I'm not sure who said it, that if you remember during the budget process at the school, they cut out a kindergarten teacher and they made just one. Because of the way the numbers were at the time, it looked like they did get away with that. And at the Selectmen's meeting, it might, I'm not gonna say who it was. There was a mention of,
Think about it,
they,
John.
the student for kindergarten population, for the enrollment, went over and above what the state would allow. So they was gonna have to ask for some more money for that teachers.
So they want to add the teacher back that they cut from last year's
Yeah.
budget, basically is what,
I did
because
ask,
of the number.
But there's nothing on this warrant about
Right,
it,
I mean,
so.
and why, I don't know. If the school
I
didn't
did
send it.
ask about that at a selectmen's meeting. I did ask about it. The school has the money. They don't need to ask.
They're
for
not gonna
any-
ask,
They
okay.
do not have to
No,
ask.
that's just all
That's
I,
right, that's
They-
right. I
they-
remember that now.
Yeah. the
so they,
school- I
they have
asked and
nothing,
the school
basically, we
has-
won't get anything for,
Yeah,
Not for this, but
no,
Yeah,
no.
all right. So on that set of documents, does anyone have any questions now, or do you want to move forward?
Move forward, please.
All right, meeting schedule. We have a meeting scheduled for July 31st, which will be voting on the articles. There's a public hearing at the Board of Selectmen meeting on July 30th.
so we'll be meeting on Thursday next
We're
night?
gonna be meeting on the Thursday, yes. Yeah, because otherwise,
No, I'm fine.
they wouldn't have been able to get it, the special town meeting in September. So, the 30th is the Board of Selectmen with a public hearing. They've asked that we attend. And then our meeting is the next night, July 31st, where we're actually scheduled to vote that day. So
the
hopefully,
public hearing's the 30th?
yeah.
Yeah,
So hopefully between now and then, we'll, and then on the 30th, if we have any questions, we can ask at the selectmen meeting.
they'll have the snow contract open
I,
this Wednesday. They don't open the
I
contract.
should have numbers the following week.
Right.
I appreciate what you're saying, Leslie, about asking questions at the public hearing. And however, to use Steve for an example. The email that he sent you, requesting how much, and where, how much money was spent last year on mileage. I think that you ought to be just asking that question, and we should have that information before the public hearing.
We may have it, right,
I pulled it out, it was like $4,272 they spent on 3 different people.
yeah, so, yeah.
It's
I
in
mean,
this stuff?
Yeah, it's in there.
Yeah,
It's in the
Okay.
packet.
No,
all right,
that's
because
fine.
I have, that's the information I was looking for, because I a municipal vehicle, so I went back to see if it would be revenue neutral. And, so I have the figures for 22, 23, 24, and then I'd have a year of 25 at that point, so I wanted to just update these figures. When I calculate that, I'll email to everyone so you can see what my calculations are.
No, that's fine.
The
It's-
calculations
It's all in
of-
here then.
Of what?
Calculations of how much money we spend a year, what's the break about? Yeah, we average about 4,000 a year,
4,000, yeah. But
which
I mean,
gives a
every
year.
year,
Reimbursement,
Yeah,
you
right
know
from
what
here,
the reimbursement is?
70 cents.
It is,
yeah, but that's gone up every year.
Let me ask you this, how much will it cost per mile
We don't know.
with your new vehicle?
Well,
If
I
you
mean,
own it?
they didn't tell us insurance costs, they didn't tell us gas.
No, but shouldn't that all be,
It should all, that's all part of it.
known before you
But
vote
they,
on?
yeah, it should all be part, I mean, the cost of the vehicle, the cost of the insurance, cost of
Shouldn't
gas,
we do
cost
that
of
on
estimated
this?
cost of
Does
maintenance,
the
all
town
needs to
pay a
be,
sales tax?
No,
that I don't know, probably
no,
not.
they don't, Joe.
Okay, how about
Town
it?
doesn't pay any.
What, do they pay excise tax?
It's a lot cheaper than to register a municipal vehicle is a lot less than what it's gonna cost you.
The town doesn't have any municipal plates.
I think that's something we need to talk about as we get to
Yeah,
the articles.
It'd be nice to
There
know
are
these
tons
things.
of questions,
Yeah.
and let's not go bouncing around.
But, one other question, we own half of a car, the sheriff.
Well, let's talk
Let's-
about that when we get to the municipal car.
Can we start on the proposed warrant?
That's what I'm trying to get to.
Oh, okay, you're gonna do that, I thought you were gonna do that, okay. You
Yeah,
gotta do that.
no, we're gonna go through the
Oh, okay.
proposed warrant, the draft warrant.
Okay,
And
good.
since the municipal vehicle is on there, we'll talk about all of that stuff then.
Okay, good, thank
I
you.
apologize for getting ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
You
Me
should.
me too.
Okay, all right, so, we have a draft warrant. First one is Article 2, shall the town authorize the expenditure of $656,000 from the unassigned fund balance to purchase a new ambulance? So they're looking to take this from our unassigned funds and not raise taxes for this.
Correct.
All right, who wants to start?
I'd like to ask, how is it gonna be paid for? Is it like a third down, half down?
They give a deposit, Joe. That's
Well,
what we
how
did
much
last
is the
time.
deposit? So,
I forget,
It depends on what the company they're buying from asks for.
I apologize because when I met with Wayne before.
well, I don't think he knew,
Town
because I
budget,
asked him too.
when he come up with a price, he told me, and I don't remember what it is, Joe.
I don't think he knew at the time.
No, I meant there was a certain percentage regardless,
Yeah.
not the dollar amount, I'm not
You
talking
know,
about.
what's the time frame? You got a 3-year construction period, so do you put a half down, and then when the thing is half full and finished, you put the other half, I mean, how are they paying for this?
What did we do with the fire truck, do you remember, Joe?
Well, the fire truck, you had so much money, they.
But we had to
They
put a
paid
down
for it in
payment,
full, yeah, but they, I don't know,
and we borrowed the money for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
think they're taking this from unassigned funds, the entire
Okay.
amount,
Yeah.
of which a portion of it may be used as a down payment on it.
Well, that's what I'm trying, all I'm
And
asking
it'll
is how much
probably-
they're putting down,
It would probably
is the
go
rest
into,
getting 4.5% on?
it would probably go into a reserve account to be set aside for the
Yeah.
ambulance, the
Yeah.
full amount.
And then would it be interest bearing account? It's,
But we
It's-
get
it-
interest on
it
it,
better
Joe,
be.
until they spend it.
It better
Please.
be. Jennifer did give me 3 copies of the ambulance information. It gives all the specs and everything. I have 3 of them. I don't need to see the specs. Who wants one?
I kinda skimmed through it, it's 199 pages.
That's why she only gave me 3. Does anyone want a copy of this?
Do you wanna see
Joe?
it, Joe?
yeah, I'll take it.
I know it's an awful lot of
And
work
then-
for
I'm
one.
gonna have somebody look at it.
And then that way, they might answer your questions.
Wow.
If you'd like to sift through that 200 pages of,
Maybe,
Well, give me
maybe,
something to do.
Well,
you know.
while you're watching your green beans grow,
yeah, watch your
My
green
beans are
beans.
just starting to grow, buddy, just
But
starting.
one of the things about this ambulance is it is going to be, I believe, completely outfitted.
that is what Wayne
That's what-
proposed,
Yes,
and that's what he's asking for.
yeah,
The ambulance is also supposed to be exactly the same as what we currently own. Only obviously it's gonna be 3 years
It's
newer. But it will be the same vehicle as far as, I believe it's a Ford
mhm.
that we currently have.
The
I'm-
other thing that Wayne has said is that, and I don't know how many times, but there are more and more times when we answer a call to help. And then there's a call that comes in here. So we have to go to mutual aid to come in here.
so how
Because
often does
we're-
that happen?
It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens.
All right, see, because
And
this,
the other thing that happens is, if this one is down,
Which it was recently.
which it was recently, yes, we have none. We have to completely rely on mutual aid. And not that long ago, maybe, I don't know, it could have been a year, when they called Sanford for help. Sanford had an ambulance down, and they didn't have one they could sell, so you call the third place, you know, which might have been Shapley or
Yeah.
Milton or something like that. We are growing, and the need is real.
But I understand we need a new ambulance, is that my only issue is, I thought that, well, we don't have the data as to how often we actually need 2 ambulances.
I'm sure you can get that from Wayne,
Yeah.
very
So,
sure.
so, without knowing that, I felt it was, perhaps, I wanna pick my words carefully, cause,
Mm.
I thought we should have applied for a grant that was available.
He already has a grant for a fire
Fire
truck.
truck.
Okay,
Well,
and he looked into trying to
but he,
apply
he,
for a grant for the
I
ambulance.
understand, I know exactly what happened, Ronald. He didn't want to apply for that grant because he wants 2. He would have had to have gotten rid of 1 if he got the grant. But
And
that,
there's nothing that says he's gonna get the grant either.
that's true. You're
okay?
right. Now, I'm not saying not, what I'm saying is, I thought the grant should have been applied for, and then you make the decision whether you have 1 or 2 at that point. If you don't get the grant, you have 2. If you do get the grant, you get rid of the first one, the old one.
But you don't have the 2 that you, as the fire chief, and as you say, a senior community, an older community, you don't have 2.
Which is why I wanna know how often we need 2 ambulances. What's,
Well, how do you,
If- You also have to consider that in 3 years, you're gonna receive delivery of this vehicle.
right.
And in 3 years, you're gonna have more wear and tear on the existing one.
that's
And
right.
that may
And so you
be,
don't really know in 3 years what you're gonna
so
what you're gonna
that
have
ambulance may
to
be
be.
out of
ex-
service, and then we possibly could have gotten money for a new one.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I know.
We
It
can't
was
see ahead.
But I think this is a
Penny
good
wise and
example.
pound foolish.
This is a good example of the planning
Disagree.
ahead in the capital
Yeah.
expenditures way where the Mark Roy
Well,
is doing with numbers. Or you get a citizen group of people together suggesting, what they'd like to see, you know, whether it be the fire department or the road bridge or fixing the roads or whatever. I think that's one that we should have, get more people in the community suggesting
having a public hearing.
the money should be thinking about the progress, like this building and where we're gonna go. In 10 years, what are they gonna have for town hall? Are they gonna be trying to get through when they addition, or are they gonna go spend $2-3 million on a brand new spanking piece of land with the whole 9 yards? So that's what's important that we should be thinking about now, so that 10 years from now, people can say, well, those people are thinking ahead.
Right.
Look what we got.
But if there's money out there, I think we should at least apply for it. And then if we,
Money out
if
there
we,
for,
for an ambulance or for whatever, I mean, the library was looking for money too at one point and didn't get a grant.
well,
You-
yeah,
You don't,
true,
if
true,
you
but
don't
if you look at
apply,
all
you're
the-
not ever gonna get it.
If you look at all the cities and little towns, and there's plenty that probably don't even have an ambulance, they don't have enough money, it's a small little town in Acton, which is fairly affluent, needs another one, you know, it's like, if, who's giving this money out might just say, hey, yeah, well, this town doesn't have anything.
Well, but there's a lot of town that have paid ambulances.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Or then, once they get one, they have to have it staffed too, so there's a lot
Yeah.
involved with it, but,
You know, that's why we're having, what you're saying, Joe, that's why we're having a public hearing. People can come and say what they think
well, I
about
think
having an ambulance.
it's,
But again, you know, before people were saying, well, all this money we've got, we ought to do something, you know, and spend it on the town. This is from unassigned funds. I guess we are spending money for the town.
But I think we should also get together as citizens and make
Well,
suggestions.
then,
What
every
they,
citizen,
besides an ambulance, what else we wanna do?
well,
in
every
the future,
citizen
whether it's-
ought to come to the public hearings, not the 25 that always do.
Well,
You want that, you be responsible and come to the public hearings. You know, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. If you don't want this, that, or the other thing,
I think there's a lot of talented retired people, engineers and things that I know of, that they'd be more than happy to make suggestions, then
I'm
whether you
t-
agree with it or not.
I
And I
agree
think
with
this is
that.
what we're
Come
missing,
to the meetings,
you know.
is all I'm saying. Come to the public hearings. If you don't agree, it's just as important to come to the meetings. If you agree, come to the meetings.
All right, all right.
Are we beating that horse?
Yes.
Good, move on.
What other questions
What
on
are the
the,
questions on the ambulance and you want?
All right, I got a good question for you. Say we vote this article in, we're going to buy a new ambulance. Where the heck is Wayne going to park 2 ambulances along with the rest of the equipment that he has in the fire station? And don't tell me the old ambulance building, because that ain't happening as it sits right now. So that question needs to be answered.
yeah, Roland, I think that you should ask that at the public hearing, because I think that doesn't really have anything to do with what we're looking at. We're looking at, what do we wanna spend the money? Where he's gonna park it is
I don't wanna see
basically
it
his
sitting
property.
outside.
That's his
Do
problem.
you?
That, no,
Okay.
so, he can put the old one out, I don't, you know,
I'm sure
that's-
you'll have an answer in the public
Yeah.
hearing.
Yeah.
So I think that's,
Good question.
Okay, Leslie, you want to know when, how many times?
how often do we need 2 ambulances? What's the data? I've got it written down to send to Jennifer. What do you need?
No, I don't have any questions.
Lee?
It's hard to anticipate what your expenses are gonna be 3 years out.
Yeah.
You gotta get in the pipeline, and I'm supportive of a new ambulance, because you're gonna have another one that's 3 years older, or we have an aging population, and God knows we don't want people dying because we don't have resources available to take care of their needs.
Dennis?
I just think the town made that decision basically on what we were gonna do in the future, when the town decided that they want to, instead of having a totally volunteer fire and rescue, the town decided they wanted the rescue to be part of the town, because it was private many, many years. And they were kind of fortunate that the ambulance, I don't agree with this, but it's the way it is, brings in a lot of money every year in revenue. Anybody that uses the ambulance knows how expensive it is. So probably over, I'm just saying this number obviously isn't right, but over a 10-year period, it probably pays for itself in revenue. I'm sure the numbers in here, what their revenue was last year. And this isn't anything new.
And, I mean, I think that.
I finance ambulance services, and I can tell you, they struggle to be profitable.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Lee, I'm not saying,
And I
but
think
it
it
still brings
defers some
revenue.
of the expenses, definitely, and I think there'd be more of it covered if you had better coverage with ambulances, but I'm not sure we should be looking at it to be cash neutral.
Yeah, this is not something I expect to be revenue neutral.
No.
Not at all, not at all.
Well,
Other things, yes, but not this.
Not this.
if you're charging and you're bringing in revenues,
That's.
in time, you're gonna break even.
Yeah, it could be 20 years down the line.
I got no idea.
That's not breaking even, that's the
Say,
life of that
probably the
ambulance will be
information's
long
in
gone.
here. Probably it's already in this packet you gave us.
Joe, you have anything you wanna ask? Or any thoughts?
No, I think I've said what I've said about the future, you know, and planning for it and having, we definitely have a need for it. And we don't have the need necessarily right now, but we will.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that we're thinking 3 years from now is the important thing.
Yeah,
For the
absolutely.
progress of this town instead of, you know, wandering around in a cloud.
I mean, I wanna be very clear that I am very supportive of buying this ambulance, because it's gonna be quite a while before we get it anyway. And, I've been supportive of it since Wayne originally brought it up. I was supportive of it when the Capital Improvement Committee, presented it.
No, I'm supportive of it, I just think we should have applied for the grant.
That's what I thought they were doing.
Yeah. But I agree, we need a new one, because probably by the time we get it, the old one's gonna be done.
Right.
And then we won't have 2 ambulances anyway.
So do you wanna vote on that?
Well, at least we'll have a name.
Article tonight?
We won't be.
We're not voting on it, no, we're gonna
Nothing
vote on
tonight.
everything on the 31st.
Gotta wait till after the public hearing, Dennis.
We don't have to, we don't have to, but we,
Well, I prefer to wait till after
Yeah,
the public
I mean,
hearing.
I told
Even though I'm
Jennifer,
not being a vote.
well, you might, you never know. I told Jennifer that I thought we would all prefer to wait till after the public hearing.
Exactly.
Because we wanna know, you know, I can't think of everything, so someone coming up to that podium may give me something to think about, and may change my mind on something, you know,
Absolutely.
for any of it, any of these articles.
Well, I'm fine waiting, Leslie, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, everything is gonna be voted on the 31st. So we're just trying to get through all of our questions, or, you know,
Yeah.
potentially, so we can do the actual vote on that day. All right, so is that all set with the ambulance? All right, Article 3. Shall the town authorize the expenditure of $22,000 from the unassigned fund balance for the purchase of a command vehicle for the fire department?
Do we currently have one?
No, we do not.
What do they do for a command vehicle?
Use the present vehicle.
The command vehicle that Sanford is offering to sell to Acton comes entirely equipped. They are taking nothing out of that command vehicle to include the new updated radio that Wayne is so very in need of. Because if you get a mutual aid call and you've got some Wakefield Fire Department and Acton And Shapley, they're not all communicating on the same radio frequencies. New Hampshire is totally different than Maine. Okay?
In fact, there was a situation when we had fire up on the ridge. I think it was the ridge or
It was,
down
it was
by
down past the dam by Balch.
by
in that
Balch, with
area.
11 acres,
Yes.
and they needed to go back mutual aid. And Wayne, at the time, did not have a radio that had the correct frequency. And it wasn't until Sanford got there, in their command vehicle, that they could use Sanford's vehicle radio to get, and I guess, I don't remember the number of towns that were involved, but
I think there were about 4,
4 towns were involved.
I believe. It
And
may have been
the-
5.
Yeah, the one thing about the radios that come in this vehicle is Wayne has been knocking himself out lately, getting grants to buy, because it's not only to have this radio in the command vehicle, which it should always have, but to have a number of these radios for the firefighters to have. And they're very expensive. Dennis, do you remember the cost of
I
those?
thought it was around 5,000.
I thought that sounds right, around $5,000 a piece,
Yeah.
you know, and
And this vehicle,
this vehicle
Yeah.
probably,
I mean, let's face it, it's relatively brand new.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's
It's
not.
not.
No, no, but what I'm saying is the vehicle itself has been very well maintained. And to have 100,000 miles on a vehicle today really isn't, it's been serviced the way that's been serviced. This is why I say it's relatively, the year might not be new,
Classroom.
but the condition,
So,
it's in very, very good condition. And you've probably got almost that amount of money that's in the vehicle to outfit it the way
If
it's
the
outfitted.
equipment is state-of-the-art current equipment,
Hey, hey,
Yeah.
you
that's
guys.
Hey,
a
guys.
really good deal.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The equipment itself is probably, if you
Yeah.
went to buy it, is probably that or
But
more.
when that vehicle goes, you're gonna be spending the $80,000 or whatever they're saying for the replacement.
Yeah.
And an almost 10-year-old vehicle, Dennis, is not new.
It's got 100 grand, 1,000 miles on
it's
it.
probably got 100,000 to go.
You know, then you start running into problems, it gets older, your transmission's gonna go, your water pump's gonna go, this is gonna go, that's gonna go. On a 10-year-old vehicle,
Northeast, we are
even
road
even
salts.
being taken care of.
But it's still, if you're gonna introduce a command vehicle into the fleet, this is probably the most cost-effective way to do it
At this point,
at this point. But don't kid yourself, it's not a new car.
It's not anywhere close to being new, Dennis, I'm
It-
sorry.
The issues that you raised, Leslie, are legitimate. I mean, 100,000 miles, I've had to get rid of cars with 68,000 miles that started going on me.
We have a truck right now that is a 2015 with 80,000 miles, and it's gonna need a new transmission.
We have a 2013 that's got 143,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's
and
not a truck.
going strong.
It's not a truck.
No, it's a Lexus.
But anyways,
Um,
to me,
I mean,
the question is, do we need a command vehicle?
Do we need a
And the
command
I
vehicle?
think the answer has been yes.
The
Or
answer
do we
is-
need to just buy some radios?
No. No,
Well, the issue that I have is understanding how the vehicle's gonna be used, where it's gonna be kept and all that. And I don't know personally how a command vehicle, it's my understanding a command vehicle may be required to be with the chief 24/7.
correct.
But the chief only works part-time.
Well, so how do you control the usage of a command vehicle to a part-time chief?
when the deputy
Where they're
chief...
supposed to have the command vehicle with them 24/7.
Does the deputy chief take over when the chief isn't
Well,
there?
then there's,
So
to
then
me, there's
your
gotta be a
vehicle
very
would have to
clear
be at the
policy
firehouse.
on
No, it has to be with the person.
how this
I don't know.
vehicle is gonna be used.
Yeah. Good question for the public here.
Yes, and I think you're gonna find that if the town does decide to purchase this command vehicle, I think you're gonna find that it is going to be housed at the fire station. It's not going to be driven home.
It won't be with them 24/7.
I don't think that really,
Maybe
I
not.
don't believe Sanford's command vehicle at the one that they're trying to sell us right now, and they've already replaced theirs, they got a brand new one.
Yeah.
I don't believe that vehicle goes home with the fire chief. I believe fire chief has a car.
And that should be very clearly
So
outlined
again,
in a
good questions,
vehicle policy.
good questions for the public hearing.
I'm sure Wayne will have the answers.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Anything else on the command vehicle? Steve, did you guys offer anything?
No, I was just asking, you know, why do we need one? But we don't have one now, and they've never had one.
I don't think-
A lot of times they say that it's because of insurance purposes, but if you just have to disclose to your insurance company that you're using the vehicle for work. Rates are higher, that's it, that's it. But our mileage reimbursement that the federal government calculates cost of replacement, fuel, insurance, maintenance.
And some of it has to do with
Have you
contaminated
read this?
materials. Contaminated
From
materials
Wayne?
that the chief
Everybody.
would, like say if you went auto fire and they got whatever on their firefighting thing, which might be something hazardous. You wouldn't wanna put that in your personal vehicle to take it to get it cleaned or however they do it. I mean, I think it's a liability thing too, I really do. And a lot of towns around now have the command vehicle. It's not uncommon at all.
I don't think you find too many fire departments that don't have a command vehicle, if you look around. I think
Larger ones.
Sorry?
Only the larger fire departments.
No, not just large.
Well,
That's the, I don't
what,
have an answer to
what
that.
other place has a command vehicle?
What were you saying, Lee?
I don't know at what level command vehicles are quote unquote required
Yeah,
part of the fleet and where is it discretionary use? I have to rely on Wayne. 'Cause
well, don't forget, how many of you seen, now I've seen both of these things, an ambulance or a fire truck at Hannaford's. Okay?
I've seen,
Going to pick up lunch.
Going to pick up lunch.
I've seen the ambulance sitting down at the hair salon. Next question.
Well, maybe they had hair in their eyes,
I
they
don't
needed to
know.
get a cut, I don't
Yeah.
know. But if it takes you, you know, I'm sure it's cheaper to drive what kind of car is this, Leslie? This command vehicle? It's a Taos?
I think Dennis is on to what the issues are. I think there's a liability issue. The type of use that this vehicle may be involved with may be a little more than appropriate use for your personal vehicle.
And
well,
you
I'm
have
not
to,
saying-
And the communication equipment is vital.
Right.
And you have to
I'm in
also-
favor of it, pure and simple.
you have to also realize if we authorize this, going forward,
You're gonna have
this is
to-
like a done deal, and then that will
It's
always be a command vehicle. And then in 2023, the cost is $80,000. Now, we know that 2 years ago, prices are higher than they were 2 years ago. So this is probably close to
Leslie,
$100,000.
And that's why I was dreaming the other night about what are the other options. But, I know we have mutual aid, but with these small towns, each town has their own little fire department, you know, some are volunteers and some are, you know, staffed. But they have fire departments, but does every little town need a fire chief, or can you share a fire chief? I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
we
you
have
take
a
two or three
part-time one.
towns and combine them to have a single fire chief that oversees the fire departments within those municipalities, and have one command vehicle that's used like we do with the sheriff, with Shapley or something like that. I don't know,
About
Shouldn't
15
dream it,
years
right?
ago, Lee,
you know?
the town did a study, and this was about the time that, when the ambulance was still private. And what are we gonna do here, that's when they decided to make the ambulance part of the town, and we bought the ambulance for $1 or whatever in the building, whatever it was. But anyway, there was a study done, and but what you're talking about was a recommendation from the people that did this study on firing an ambulance, because
Who did the
of,
study?
just like you're saying, it's so expensive for an small. And there was, I don't remember now the towns, but there was quite a few towns in the state of Maine that did exactly like you said. They joined forces, and they had one fire department and one ambulance
With substations and.
with substations and stuff like that. And it ended up being obviously cheaper with multi-towns being involved like that.
Well, you have the economies of scale. I mean, that's,
But at that particular time, the people wanted to stay single. Because it suggested maybe join with Shapley or Lebanon
Yeah.
or
but
Parsons.
Dennis, how many years ago
Newfield.
did you say that was?
It was in 2010.
But,
So there may,
but Dennis,
the feelings may have changed.
Oh, I'm not saying
Over
that,
time, yeah.
no, I'm just saying there was a study done and this was the result.
Yeah.
And I was just addressing what Lee was saying.
Yeah.
It is
It's
allowed
feasible.
by the state of Maine, I just looked it up.
it is allowed.
It is allowed.
Yeah, 'cause I know they sometimes did it.
Yeah, and what happens a lot of times is, then every town becomes responsible, you know, for all the money. They have to have charters, ordinances, contracts,
I think we've gotten way off.
yeah,
Off.
but they.
Well, it ties with one of the options on dealing with the need to have a command vehicle. And what is this an appropriate time to take a relook at that model, or stick with what we have?
We don't
That's-
have,
Huh?
we don't have. Right now, Wayne is,
Or not have one, period, right?
well,
I think you need one.
when you go to a fire, and you have Shapley showing up, Wakefield showing up, Sanford showing up, there's only one person in charge at the fire scene, just one. Regardless of how many mutual aid people show up, they don't have the say. So if it's Acton's fire, then it'll be Wayne in charge. If he can't communicate with people that he needs to communicate with, he can't do his job properly.
That's a radio problem, not a vehicle problem.
I understand that. Start buying radios. He wants them for all of the people.
So. and-
So
and
ask
he's-
Wayne how many radios he'd like to have and what they cost.
And he's applying for grants for them.
Good luck.
He's already got them, so,
He's already bought, I think, 3 or 4.
yeah,
With Grant.
with grant money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
So,
but what you're describing is a communication problem, not a vehicle problem.
I understand that. The vehicle itself is a Ford F-550, or I thought it was a Ford, it might not be. It might be a Tahoe. Irregardless of, it's a 4-wheel drive vehicle. That's it. With all the lights, sirens, and radio communication. Other than that, it's just a vehicle.
I bet it's even red.
Probably is.
It's a 2016 Chevy Tahoe.
All right, anything anything else on the command vehicle?
Not for me.
I'm all set.
So, people have their questions for the public hearing? Yes? Okay. Article 4, shall the town authorize the expenditure of up to $34,000 from the unassigned fund balance for the purchase of a municipal vehicle to be used by the municipal and code enforcement staff?
I think it's a luxury.
I agree with you, Steve.
I'm a hard no.
No, I'm a hard no.
You don't know how hard I am. You have no clue.
I think that, I'd like to know about the sheriff's car, and if we would be getting any money, if Shapley somehow has title to this for some reason, it's half of our car, we should be getting something from it.
Shapley said
They
that-
have dibs on it, supposedly.
Why do they have dibs?
Because
Because they asked first.
they asked first.
It's owned
Acton
by,
was sitting on their thumbs and
Well,
didn't jump
Yeah,
on the
let's
ball.
keep it nice, come on, keep it
I
nice.
did.
How much money are we getting for the car?
we don't know.
You're gonna get half of
We
whatever
don't
the
know. I'm
current
still a hard
value
no.
is.
I don't think that we need a municipal vehicle. Not when we average about $4,000 a year in mileage reimbursements to the treasurer, the town administrator, and the land use.
Is that together?
Together,
That's Oh.
together.
My no got harder.
I don't, these employees were hired knowing that we did not have a car, that they would be reimbursed for mileage. With those figures, a break-even point would be about 9 years down the road.
I mean, if we bought a car,
If we
we'd
bought
have
a
to keep
car-
it for 9 years.
We'd have to keep it for over 9
To
years
keep the,
to
be the same
break
as it
even.
reimbursing people.
To
I'm
break
not even
even.
sure. I think it's gonna cost more no matter how you slice and dice it.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get to a break even.
So like I said, I'm a hard no on this. It's,
I looked into how they calculate the mileage reimbursement, and it's updated by the federal government every year to include, replacement costs, maintenance, and insurance, like you said, everything's all included. That's why it's 70 cents per mile. And it's more than just gasoline. And I'm a hard no too, by the way.
But don't you
If you don't, you gotta have a policy, and it can be abused under the best circumstances.
Don't you think there should be some more information available as to why it was $34,000? I mean, did they look at 9 different?
well,
There's no they, Joe.
here's
There's one
here's another, only have 3 copies of this.
Jason,
Here,
It's a Subaru. This is just one vehicle that they're looking at.
the only one.
I think they've looked at more than one.
Can I
but this is the
ask
one.
you one question, please?
Yeah.
Who's they?
I believe that our code enforcement officer has looked at more than one vehicle.
Okay.
And
They
this
is
turned
not
out
a
to
code
be,
enforcement officer. He is the code enforcement. One person's looked, okay? The selectman directed him, being as he brought this forward. This originally came from the code enforcement officer. It was not Jennifer or the treasurer who asked for this vehicle, okay? Understand that. And I got nothing against Jason, nothing at all, okay? But he knew when he took this job to be code enforcement officer, what the duties were and what was supplied. And there was no vehicle supplied, okay? His complaint is, I'm putting too many miles on my vehicle.
let's not go,
That's
let's
it.
not make it personal.
I'm not making it personal. That's a simple statement of fact. He stated that here, in this room.
Oh, I know he did,
Okay.
but let's go
But I've
around
not
it.
said anything that is not true. I'm a firm no on a municipal vehicle. Number one, where are you gonna park that vehicle? Not being utilized. You can't park it out in front of the town hall because chances are it'll get broken into. Who's gonna drive it? Is it gonna go home with the code enforcement officer? Is it gonna go home with the treasurer or the town administrator? No, we don't need this at all. I'm not. And I know you hate that I'm vocal.
Dennis, you haven't said anything.
Me? I got nothing to say about it.
I already stated it was a luxury. We usually go with gas repairs, and you're never gonna get your money back.
I think that is what I said.
Is it?
I agree with you, Steve.
Okay.
I think that's what I said. Yeah.
Is he whispering in your ear, Dennis?
Anything else? No?
Is it, but in the future, will there be a need for a vehicle, a municipal vehicle?
I'm sorry?
In the future, will there be a need?
We'll have to look at the capital improvement plan, Joe.
Well, Joe, once you buy one, you stop it.
We're almost
You'll be
done.
buying it for, until the cows come home. So. All right, last article. Article 5, shall the town vote to raise and appropriate X amount
Blank.
I'll do that.
to
I'll
fulfill,
vote that one.
yeah, stop, let me finish. To fulfill the 2025-2026 winter plowing contracts. As Joyce said, that the bids are gonna be opened on Wednesday. I watched the meeting last week, and they said that they were gonna go into executive session to talk about it, and hopefully have a decision that night.
Right.
So they can let us know what that figure is going to be.
I personally would like to know what all of the bids come in at, not just the one that they decide to choose.
Yeah, it should be.
Well, they're gonna read,
They
they
read
read
them all.
the bids.
They all-
I think,
They both
well,
put them in front of us.
I understand that, that's the way bids normally are,
Right.
okay? I think that may not happen on Wednesday. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then I was right. Moving along.
Lee, the way this article is written is kind of like one of my favorite articles from the school. When it says to raise and appropriate $0 for this account, they have 2 or 3 of them that we have to vote on every year, so maybe this will be 0.
Well, I thought they were moving to a 3-year contract.
They are,
They are,
they are.
So
It is-
why is this talking about 1 year?
because you're not going to obligate the money. You can't obligate 3 years worth of money in one fiscal year. It don't work.
We had conversations at Board of Selectmen's meetings about
Yeah,
this.
they
Yeah,
talked
they
about
did.
putting, they talked about putting it in a reserve account, to
But
appropriate.
this doesn't say that.
No.
I understand that, I guess I chose to go the other way. They don't have, they don't, well,
They're obligated under the contract,
right,
but they don't need to fund it all under 1 year.
Right.
right.
If that's the case, fine,
That is.
That's exactly what it is, they're not,
that's good, because I was struggling over.
Because that-
Because you're gonna be on one of these deals, if you're gonna
And
do
that's
3
not
years,
what
$1
that's-
million, and then it goes to 0 for 2 years, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then that's not what the, that's, my understanding is that's not the intent. They're gonna fund it each year.
Okay.
Is there a, maybe I misunderstood. When they sign a contract with these vendors, will there be a set amount of money? You know, you're gonna sign a contract with us for 3 years, and we're gonna pay you $30 for those 3 years. So this year, we're gonna raise and appropriate $10, next year $10. Or is it going to be every year? What's it gonna be?
It'd be a certain
It'd be
amount.
a set amount every, yeah, it'd be an
A
amount
set
for
amount
each,
every
each-
year.
Yeah, a set amount for the 3 years,
Okay,
equal.
yeah, because,
It depends on the wording in the contract.
because if I'm the vendor, I'm not gonna sign that with you, because, you know, I wanna know I'm gonna make my $10 a year,
I haven't read the contract.
you know?
Huh?
I haven't read the contract.
I don't think anybody outside of the selectmen
Did they
And-
post it online?
I don't believe so.
It should be.
I don't
I
believe
mean,
so.
I could
But
have.
in order to know all that
Right.
stuff, you have to be able to read the contract to see,
Yeah.
other than what Lee was talking about,
There
we're
was-
coming in for 1 year at a time.
I think it's a fixed amount for
It
the
must be.
entire 3 years,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they basically divide it by 3.
yeah.
But a lot of contracts that I used to see, they would have, it would do up to X amount of inches of snow, and then they had riders for bad years.
Yeah.
So they were guaranteed so much, and then they got paid per inch above the cap.
And it might be in that contract, you don't know.
But then it won't be a fixed price.
That's true. So we got any questions?
Well,
The,
if they'd set the parameters of what they're looking for bids, and if it's a fixed price bid, then
It's a fixed
probably
price.
not
it's a
in there.
fixed
the
price.
contract is on here.
Yeah, no,
It's on the, the
The money.
contract is on the town website.
on the town website,
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
I'll read it,
Yeah, so,
see if I can understand it.
you know, and it talks about let me see,
And that probably will answer a lot of questions.
yeah, responsibility, services provided, says that they're independent contractors, it dictates what, a minimum, equipment. So they need 3 wing trucks, at least 2 3/4-ton trucks with 9-foot plows, an adequate loader to be used for loading material at the town.
They have
site.
service levels required. Will does a fabulous job.
He could possibly be bidding for it.
Will,
But I think
Will
that
is
they
not.
pre-describe in the
Didn't
bid
he-
process what the service level
Not
is.
at all? I thought he was gonna do.
Will is not bidding. His father did.
Yeah,
Will did not bid that I know of.
oh, okay, so his father's been,
Yeah, there's a hold harmless in the contract.
It used to be the town had a certain amount, like you're talking about, Lee. You had to have, you couldn't go out unless you had, until you had 2 inches of snow. Okay? The road commissioners couldn't go out unless there was some, whatever, emergency or something. And before they changed it to 2, before that it was 6. And I know because I plowed snow in the 70s, in the 80s. And then that kinda, when Gordon King got elected, that kinda went away. Because his thing was, what he did was like Will does. You get a need, you go and take care of it. Whether, and as you say, he does a great job.
Well, Dennis,
And so I would assume, I haven't read it, there's gotta be some standard in there, like you were saying about, of service. You know what I mean?
do you want me to read this, Dennis,
No.
rather than,
I think we should all go back
speculating on
and
what,
read it.
what it
go
is
back.
or what we used
No.
to?
Yeah.
We'll just go back, I'll,
Sanding and salting will commence at the beginning of the storm and continue as needed.
let's say just a different way.
yeah,
to
but
do
who's
it.
making this decision?
Over
The
time.
contractor,
It's gonna be the
right?
contractor making the
Right.
decision,
Now, some
yeah.
people-
I
contractors
mean,
use
and if
more
we're-
salt, and some use less salt.
If we're paying them a certain dollar amount, who cares if they go out when there's a 1 inch or 10 inches?
Well,
So it's-
Well, but how about if they
They
don't?
better be out before 10 inches, but
it might be
telling them not to
financially
go
advantageous for them to wait
until
until
2
it's 12
inches is
inches.
stupid. If
I'm
we're
not
paying
saying they
them-
should, Leslie, I'm just saying, answering Lee's question about what's the standard gonna be.
Yeah.
And the town over the years has had different standards.
Standards.
And I haven't read the contract, so I have no idea what the standard.
I
Don't
think we should
forget-
all go back and read it.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Leslie, some
Discuss it
people
here.
plow snow and some people melt it.
That's true.
And this is the problem we have if you go on some of these state roads and you see all these dead branches and hemlocks and stuff that's dead.
It's because of the
There's
salt.
been salt, who knows, no salt.
Well, you wanted to add another
Well,
twist.
you know, but you know, there's a lot of hills around here.
I realize that.
I live on a road that has a hill that I have slid back down
Oh, I
numerous
imagine,
times.
yeah, yeah.
And,
But
So-
would you have slid if you had sand on it?
well, you would need a front end loader to move the sand they put down on that hill.
Well,
Well,
there's
because
an-
it washes, right?
there
Yeah,
is
it washes
another
right down to the
theoretical
lake.
issue that should be incorporated into something at some point in time, is the quality of the lakes are at compromise with too much salt being put on.
Exactly.
Oh, actually, sand is just as bad as salt.
If it washes into the lake,
Well,
definitely.
there's a lot of towns over in New Hampshire that have salt-free areas because of the
Right.
water.
But you couldn't have a salt-free area where I live because of that hill.
Didn't we just pass an article a while back, Dennis, about salt next to a well?
Yeah,
When you drive
yeah.
on the H road, it's illegal by our statute to salt in front of this town hall.
But they've
close.
already polluted the well. The stupid thing putting
close.
it in.
Yeah,
To the well.
Never should
and
have.
they've done, it's happened at several residences
Yeah, I've been up
in
there
town,
myself.
the wells got contaminated.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on tonight, Lee, I keep agreeing. I'm tired,
I don't know.
I think we made a decision to go to a 3-year. And we're gonna wait until we open the bids.
yeah.
Hey Leslie, I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?